Well, hello folks, and welcome to Templates for Change series on our human heritage. There's great people, fascinating places that inspire us in our lives. I'm John Edge and I'm the presenter today, and this is my tribute to Sir Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was an extraordinary man, wasn't he? And he certainly needs no introduction from myself. But while, if you wish, you're reading this warm and appropriate tribute to him by Sir Robert Menzies, I'd like to talk a bit about my own personal experiences with Chartwell that led to this series of photographs and the quotes from Churchill. Now, a few years ago, I was staying near Chartwell. At least I discovered later that I was near Chartwell, as I'll explain. And one morning, and it was summer, I couldn't sleep, and I got up very early and went out walking in the dawn, in the mists of dawn, and I decided just to go where my thoughts would take me, where my feet would take me, and see where I ended up. And I found myself, suddenly and surprisingly to me, standing at the gates of Chartwell at 5 o'clock in the morning, entirely and completely on my own with this magical, wonderful place. And I was able to spend an hour or more there, in the presence of that place, in the spots that Churchill sat and walked through, near the very house he lived in with his family, and sense and feel the presence of this extraordinary man about those gardens that I was able to visit myself, as I said, entirely on my own. It was an extraordinarily moving experience for me, and I had many thoughts about the importance of the man, the importance of his ideas, and the extraordinary quotations that I found so inspiring for myself. It was a great experience I've never forgotten. Now, much more recently, I visited Chartwell again on a lovely early autumn day, as you can see from the blue sky in this photograph. And this time I took some photographs because it's so beautiful there. And I had the idea that with those photographs and the quotes, I could put together a little series explaining a bit about Churchill's life and taking the quotes that inspired me. Now, it's set out in a kind of journey through his life, and I'll be explaining with little quotations and explanations what the photographs mean, and then I'll be adding in the quotes as I've explained. Now, I've very much enjoyed putting this together, and I do hope you'll enjoy going through it with me too. Okay, well, let's go on. Now, this is a picture of the front entrance at Chartwell, which he bought in 1922. It dates to the 16th century. Now, Churchill really loved the situation, but the house on the west front that you see here has actually been much changed to its present look. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Now, this is a wonderful view from Chartwell to the Weald, and this is what so entranced Churchill when he first saw the site in 1921 and convinced him to try and buy it, despite all the difficulties that he expected to have. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Now, this is a lovely window in what is called the Marlborough Pavilion, which is decorated with scenes from the Duke of Marlborough's life. And early in the time Churchill was at Chartwell, he had it decorated by his nephew Johnny Spencer. The empires of the future are the empires of the mind. And here is part of Churchill's famous wall, mostly built between the years of 1925 and 32 by Winston with his own hands, as the plaque says. To build may have to be the slow and laborious task of years. To destroy can be the thoughtless act of a single day. Now this is another picture of Chartwell taken from the studio where Churchill painted, and it includes here the new east wing to the right, where Clementine had her personal rooms. All great things are simple, and many can be expressed in single words: freedom, justice, honour, duty, mercy, hope. Now Churchill loved his cats, and he had a favourite marmalade cat called Jock, who actually outlived him. And Jock started a tradition of marmalade cats at Chartwell. And just as I was there photographing, along came this beautiful little marmalade pussycat. And I managed to get this rather lovely snap. One thing lacks these banks of green, the pussycat, who is their queen. But fortunately for me, I managed to see her. Now this is a picture of the house from the croquet lawn, which was built in 1949, and by that time Churchill's age meant that tennis had eventually to give way to less energetic croquet. What is the use of living, if it be not to strive for noble causes, and to make this muddled world a better place for those who will live in it after we have gone? Now, one place that Churchill loved visiting, particularly later in his life, and he had a love affair with for 25 years from 1935, was Marrakesh. And after Chartwell, he probably loved this place the most, it seems. And here, in the beautiful gardens of his favourite hotel, the Mamounia Hotel, where I took this photograph recently, there Churchill painted and relaxed, and you could almost sense his presence at that place. And Churchill had another side, of course, where he said, you cannot deal with the most serious things in the world unless you also understand the most amusing. Now this is a picture of the lovely romantic feature of the Golden Rose Walk from 1958. And that was the year of Clementine's and Winston's golden wedding anniversary. Here's a lovely quote. My most brilliant achievement was my ability to be able to persuade my wife to marry me. As Churchill got older, he spent more and more time in this chair by his Golden Wharf pond, where he sat for many hours lost in silent contemplation in what is this beautiful and evocative spot. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And here is the final picture of Winston and Clementine, which to me is a lovely statue by Oscar Niemann, unveiled at Chartwell in 1990 by the Queen Mother. It's a very evocative spot and a very evocative sculpture of both of them. Courage is the first of human qualities, because it is the quality that guarantees all the others. Well, I very much enjoyed taking these photographs and putting this together, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Some of the pictures and some of these marvellous quotes from Winston Churchill. Cheerio now.